Hello everyone. So welcome to our last lecture of our course. Today's topic is ethical consideration and future trends in analytics. Now that we have come through all of the topics in data analytics, all the basic topics, because this is a basic introductory course. So this is the last topic. So the world of data analytics is growing at an unprecedented pace. While it offers exciting possibilities, it also raises significant ethical questions and presents new trends that demand our attention. So, as a professionals in analytics, our work directly impacts organizations, individuals, and society at large. So, addressing ethical considerations and staying informed about future trends is not just important, it's essential. Okay, so here um, here is an overview of our today's lecture, where we'll start by understanding the role of ethics in analytics. Then a strong ethical framework revolves around privacy, um, transparency, accountability, and avoiding harm, which are the key ethical considerations in data analytics. So then we'll learn about bias in data and algorithms. Um, then privacy and security concerns, like privacy breaches and weak security can lead to significant harm. So these kind of things. Then about data ownership and governance, like who owns the data, who governs its usage, etc. Then we will learn about the role of transparency, so because transparency builds trust. Then future trends in analytics. Now we'll shift our focus to future trends reshaping analytics. Then ethical AI and machine learning, which is a very hot topic in nowadays. AI and ML are revolutionizing analytics, but they bring challenges like explainability and accountability. So we'll also go through those. Then data democratization, making data accessible across organizations promotes informed decision making. So then we'll learn about real-time analytics in IoT. Now, ethics in analytics isn't optional, it's a necessity. And understanding future trends prepares us for what's ahead. So I encourage you to reflect on how we as professionals can contribute to an ethical and innovative analytics like analytic landscape. So let's start the topic then. Now here we'll begin by understanding what ethics in analytics truly means and why it matters in our rapidly advancing digital world. So, ethical considerations in analytics involve the responsible use of data. This includes upholding principles such as fairness, privacy, and transparency. When we analyze data, we are not just working with numbers and graphs. Behind every data point is a person, a decision, or an event. So, treating this data responsibly is what makes our work ethical and impactful. So, in today's world, organizations increasingly rely on data to make decisions, from predicting consumer behavior to optimizing resources. Analytics is the backbone of modern business operations. However, with great power comes great responsibility. So, ensuring ethical practices in data analytics is critical, not only to maintain trust with stakeholders but also to avoid unintended harm. For example, mishandling sensitive data could lead to privacy breaches, damaging both individuals and an organization's reputation. So, by emphasizing ethics, we ensure that our work not only drives success but also aligns with social values. So, throughout this lecture, we'll also explore how ethical considerations intersect with technical practices, and yeah. So let's see on next slide. Okay, so now let's see the key ethical considerations that form the foundation of responsible data analytics. First is consent. Now, at the heart of ethical analytics is consent. It's crucial to ensure that data is collected with the informed consent of individuals. People should know how their data will be used and have the ability to opt out if they wish. Without consent, without their permission, we risk violating personal boundaries and trust, which can have severe ethical and legal implications. So, having your customers or people's permission to use their data is very important. Then, privacy. Privacy is a fundamental right. In the era of massive data collection, protecting sensitive information is paramount. Adhering to regulations like GDPR and CCPA helps ensure that organizations respect user privacy. So, beyond compliance, we must make privacy a priority in our analytical processes. Next is data accuracy. So, accurate data is essential for making reliable decisions. So, misinterpreted or inaccurate data can lead to flawed analysis, poor decision making, and unintended harm. As an analyst, it's your responsibility to maintain high data quality and ensure the integrity of our insights. Okay, last is fairness. So, fairness is a cornerstone of ethical data analytics. Algorithms and data models must be scrutinized to ensure they do not introduce bias or discrimination. This includes actively identifying and mitigating biases in datasets, which could perpetuate inequality or unfair treatment. Each of these considerations, consent, privacy, accuracy, and fairness, represents a critical pillar in the ethical use of analytics. Together, they not only protect individuals but also enhance the credibility and reliability of our work. Okay, so we'll now see bias in data and algorithms. Now, this is an important and often overlooked issue in analytics. Bias can significantly undermine the integrity of our work and lead to unintended consequences. Now, sources of bias. Now, bias can creep in at various stages of the analytical process. It can arise from skewed data collection practices, biased sampling methods, or algorithmic bias that results from how models are designed and trained. For example, if historical data used to train an algorithm reflects societal inequalities, inequalities, the algorithm may replicate or even amplify those biases. Okay, next is impact of bias. So the consequences of bias in analytics can be severe. For instance, bias models can lead to unfair treatment of certain groups. Like in hiring processes, bias can unintentionally favor or disadvantage specific demographics. Similarly, in lending decisions, biased data might result in unequal access to financial opportunities for certain communities, so, which is not good. Now, fortunately, there are proactive steps we can take to mitigate bias. Now, regular audits of data and algorithms help identify potential sources of bias. Using diverse data sets ensures a broader and more inclusive representation. And implementing fairness checks throughout the analytical process can help maintain equality and equity and accountability. Now, by actively addressing bias, we not only enhance the fairness of our models but also build trust in the outcomes of our analytics work. Bias is not just a technical challenge, it's an ethical responsibility. Okay, privacy and security concerns. Now, one of the most critical aspects of data analytics is ensuring privacy and security. Without proper safeguards, the trust people place in organizations can be severely compromised. Now, let's take a closer look at three key areas in this regard. So, first is data breaches, which are a significant risk in today's interconnected world. They expose personal or sensitive data to unauthorized parties, leading to reputational damage, financial losses, and legal consequences. So, imagine the impact of an organization if customer data is leaked. It erodes trust and jeopardize future relationships. Second is regulations. To address these risks, governments have implemented regulations like GDPR in Europe and CCPA in California. These laws dictate that how data should be stored. So, how data should be stored, processed, and shared. For instance, GDPR requires organizations to obtain explicit consent before using personal data and mandates strict protocols for data breaches. Compliance with these regulations is not just a legal requirement but also an ethical obligation. Now, third is security measures. To mitigate the risks of breaches, organizations must adopt robust security measures. Encryption ensures that even if data is accessed, it remains unreadable without proper authorization. So, access controls limit who can. Okay, sorry about that. So, access controls limit who can view or modify sensitive information, ensuring only the right individuals have access. Lastly, data anonymization, like removing the details, identifiable details. So, you are making the people's data anonymous. You are making people so that no one can identify that this data belongs to that people, so making it impossible to link the data back to an individual. So, by addressing privacy and security concerns proactively, we protect individuals and reinforce the integrity of our data analytics practices. This approach not only ensures compliance with laws but also fosters a culture of trust and responsibility. Okay. Now let's discuss an essential aspect of ethical analytics, which is data ownership and governance. Now these elements ensures that data is managed responsibly and used ethically, protecting both individuals and organizations. So the first question we must address is who owns the data and how is it controlled? Data ownership defines the rights and responsibilities of individuals, organizations, and even governments over the data collected. For example, when users share their personal information with a company, they often assume it will be used solely for the intended purpose. Ensuring clarity about data ownership builds trust and prevent misuse. Okay, next is governance policies, which are the frameworks that guide how data is managed. These policies ensure that data is handled in line with agreed upon rules and ethical standards. For instance, they establish who can access the data, how it can be shared, and for what purposes it can be used. Governance is particularly important in industries like healthcare, where improper data management could lead to serious consequences. Finally, accountability is which is critical. Organizations must be held accountable for how they use data and the outcomes it generates. Um, this includes being transparent about data usage, addressing any harm caused, and regularly auditing practices to maintain ethical standards. Without accountability, governance policies risk becoming mere guidelines without informants. Now, in summary, we can say data ownership and governance are not just technical or legal requirements, they are ethical imperatives. By addressing these areas proactively, we can ensure that data analytics is a tool for good rather than a source of harm. Okay, now we'll uh, we'll see the role of transparency in analytics. Now, transparency plays a fundamental role in ethical analytics. It bridges the gap between complex data processes and the trust stakeholders place in our work. Now, let's see some key aspects. First is algorithm transparency. One of the most significant challenges in analytics is the black box effect, where users don't understand how algorithms or models arrive at their conclusions. So, algorithm transparency addresses this issue by explaining how these models work. For example, in a machine learning model, transparency would involve outlining the variables used and the logic behind predictions. This ensures that decisions based on analytics are fair, justifiable, and open to scrutiny. Okay, now next is clear communication. Transparency also requires clear communication. It's not enough to collect and analyze data. We must clearly articulate how the data is collected, processed, and used. So this involves explaining the purpose of the data collection and ensuring that individuals understand how their information contributes to the analytic process. Clear communication fosters informed consent and strengthens accountability. Now, finally, uh, now ultimately, transparency is about building trust. So, when organizations are open about their data practices, they demonstrate a commitment to ethical behavior. This trust is critical for maintaining strong relationships with individuals whose data is being analyzed. It's also essential for ensuring long term collaboration and support from stakeholders. Now we can say transparency is the foundation of ethical analytics by ensuring algorithm clarity, effective communication, and trust building. We can make analytics not only powerful but also principled and trustworthy. Okay. Now, as we move forward, the field of analytics is evolving at an incredible pace. Now, let's explore three key trends that are shaping the future of analytics and transforming how organizations leverage data. So, first is artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is one of the most significant trends uh, uh, in continued advancement of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So, those technologies are not just enhancing predictive analytics but also introducing perspective analytics, where systems can recommend specific actions based on data insights. For example, AI powered models can predict customer behavior and suggest targeted marketing strategies, increasing efficiency and effectiveness. Next is data democratization, another major trend. Now, in the past, the data analysis was often limited to specialists. Today, thanks to user friendly tools and platforms, more employees across organizations can access and utilize data for decision making. This empowers teams at all levels to make data driven decisions, fostering innovation and improving overall organizational agility. Now, because of these user friendly tools and software, now not only specialists but also normal general employees can also use and work on data. Next is real time analytics. Now, finally, the rise of real time analytics fueled by the Internet of Things (IoT) and advanced processing capabilities, which is revolutionizing how businesses operate. Real-time analytics allows organizations to analyze data as it is generated, enabling quicker decision making. For example, in retail, real-time insights can optimize inventory and improve customer experiences on the spot. These trends highlights all these trends highlight how analytics is becoming more advanced, inclusive, and dynamic. As these technologies continue to evolve, they will unlock new opportunities and redefine how we approach data driven strategies. Okay. Now, artificial intelligence and machine learning have revolutionized the way we approach data analytics, but they also come with ethical challenges that demand our attention. Now, what is the importance of ethical AI? Now, everyone can use AI, but to use an AI with ethical consideration is very important. So, ethical AI ensures that systems make fair and unbiased decisions. Consider an AI used in hiring. If its training data reflects historical biases, the system might unintentionally discriminate against certain groups. Ensuring fairness requires careful design, diverse data sets, and rigorous testing to avoid perpetuation and amplifying biases. Okay, next is AI regulation. To address these challenges, new frameworks and regulations are emerging. Governments and organizations are working to establish guidelines for the development and deployment of AI systems. These regulations focus on accountability, safety, and fairness to ensure that AI serves the public good rather than causing harm. Compliance with these frameworks will be essential as AI becomes more pervasive and various sectors. Okay. Ethical AI principles. At the heart of ethical AI are four guiding principles. Transparency. So we already went through these four options. Yeah, so these are also used in AI. AI systems should be explainable so user can understand how decisions are made. Developers and organizations must take responsibility for the impact of their AI systems. Models must ensure equitable outcomes for all individuals and avoid reinforcing social bias. And protecting user data should remain a top priority, with measures like anonymization and secure data storage. So these are all like whatever we are using for normal ethical principle, we will also use it for AI principle, ethical AI principle. Now, as AI and ML continue to shape the future, adhering to ethical principles will ensure these technologies are used responsibly. So, by focusing on fairness, transparency, and accountability, we can maximize the benefits of AI while minimizing risks. Okay, data democratization is one of the most transformative shifts in how organizations use and interact with data. Now, let's see its core aspects. Now, at its heart, data democratization means making data and analytics tools accessible to more people within an organization. This goes beyond the traditional approach of limiting data access to analytics or data scientists. Instead, it empowers employees across departments, whether in marketing, operations, or customer service, to access and use data to make informed decisions. So, everyone can use data, not only the analyst or the data scientist. Now, the impact of democratizing data is profound. When more people have access to data and analytic tools, they are empowered to make data driven decisions. This fosters innovation and efficiency, as employees can identify opportunities, solve problems, and optimize processes in real time. For example, a marketing manager using data insights can quickly adjust campaigns to maximize engagement without waiting for analytics report. Now, however, data democratization does come with challenges. One key concern is ensuring proper training, because if employees are not equipped with the knowledge to interpret and use data correctly, there is a risk of misuse or misinterpretation. Additionally, governance must be in place to maintain data security and consistency. Without these safeguards, democratized data could lead to fragmented or unreliable insights. Now, we can say that data democratization represents a major step forward in creating an agile, data-driven organization. By balancing accessibility with robust training and governance, we can unlock the full potential of democratized data while minimizing risk. Okay, now the combination of real-time analytics and the Internet of Things (IoT) is transforming the way businesses and industries operate. Now let's see these two elements work together, how these two elements work together, and the opportunities they present. First is IoT data sources. IoT devices such as sensors, smart meters, and wearable technology, these are generating vast amounts of real-time data. These devices continuously capture information from the environment, processes, or users, making it possible to monitor systems and activities in real time. For instance, sensors in manufacturing can detect equipment issues before they lead to failures, enhancing efficiency and reducing downtime. Now, real time analytics is about processing and analyzing data as it's collected. So, this capability enables businesses to respond instantly to insights, making it invaluable for applications like predictive maintenance, dynamic pricing, or personalized customer experience. Imagine a smart thermostat that adjusts temperature settings based on live data, optimizing energy usage and cost. Okay, now last is privacy concerns. Um, the use of IoT data comes with significant privacy and security challenges, as these devices often collect sensitive information such as personal health data from wearable or location data from connected vehicles. It is critical to prioritize data privacy. So, organizations must implement encryption and anonymization and strict access controls to safeguard against data breaches and misuse. So, real time analytics powered by IoT offers incredible potentials to drive efficiency, innovation, and customer satisfaction. However, as we adopt these technologies, we must address privacy concerns to ensure ethical and secure use of IoT data. Okay, let's now look at a practical example that highlights the ethical challenges in predictive analytics. This case study illustrates how biases can inadvertently impact decision making and what steps can be taken to address them. In this case, a company uses predictive analytics to evaluate employee performance and retention. At first glance, this seems like a great way to improve efficiency and make data driven decisions. However, the analytics model revealed a hidden flaw. It began to produce biased evaluations that favored certain employee demographics over others. Now, what is the ethical issue here? The problem stemmed from the data used to train the model. Historical data carried inherent biases, which the model then learned and perpetuated. For example, if past evolutions favored certain demographics due to conscious bias, the predictive model amplified those biases, leading to unfair assessments and potentially discriminatory practices. To address this issue, the company revisited its data collection process and identified the biased variables contributing to that problem. By removing these biased variables and incorporating fairness checks into the model development process, the company ensured that the predictions were equitable and unbiased. So, this case demonstrates the importance of scrutinizing and algorithms used in predictive analytics. It reminds us that while those tools are powerful, they must be designed and implemented carefully to avoid unintended harm. Um, Ethical oversight and proactive measures are essential to ensure that analytics promotes fairness and transparency. Okay, as as we already know, AI and machine learning are rapidly evolving. Um so we'll also see now three significant trends that are emerging in this space and it will be more in the future, like an autonomous system. AI is enabling the development of autonomous systems across a range of fields. For example, in healthcare, AI driven robots assist in surgeries, enhancing precision and reducing human error. In transportation, autonomous vehicles are revolutionizing mobility by increasing safety and efficiency. These systems rely on advanced algorithms to make decisions in real time, paving the way for a more automated and connected future. Next is AI for augmented analytics. The integration of AI in analytics is another transformative trend. Augmented analytics leverages AI to enhance human decision making by providing deeper insights and actionable recommendations. For instance, instead of merely analyzing sales data, AI tools can identify trends, predict future outcomes, and suggest strategies to optimize performance. This shift allows professionals to focus on data driven decision making rather than data preparation. Okay, next is uh, personalization, AI and personalization, which is becoming a cornerstone of user experiences thanks to AI. In marketing, AI models analyze user behavior to deliver tailored recommendations. In e commerce, platforms like Amazon use AI to suggest products based on individual preferences. Similarly, in entertainment, streaming services like Netflix employ AI to recommend shows and movies that align with viewer taste. This personalized approach enhances customer satisfaction and engagement. So these all these trends highlight the immense potential of AI and machine learning to transform industries and improve lives. However, as we adopt these technologies, it's equally important to address ethical considerations, ensuring that AI is developed and deployed responsibly. Okay, now what should be the best practice for ethical analytics? As we conclude our discussion, so the first and foremost practice is safeguarding the data privacy and security. Protecting sensitive data is not just an ethical responsibility, it's legal requirement. Organizations must comply with regulations like GDPR and CCPA to ensure data is collected, stored, and processed responsibly. Then fair and transparent algorithms, like designing algorithms which is fair and transparent, which is very important. Then regular audits, you have to audit regularly to make sure there's no biased data, or safety checks, or conducting periodic reviews of data models and processes organization, which can identify and address potential issues before they escalate. So, by adopting these best practices, we can ensure that our analytics efforts are not only effective but also responsible. Okay, now in conclusion, we can say ethical considerations are not just an add-on to analytics. They are the foundation that ensures fairness, transparency, and privacy in our work. As we have discussed, these principles are essential in building trust and delivering meaningful insights. The rise of advancement technologies such as AI, machine learning, and real time analytics has unlocked incredible potentials. However, these advancements come with new ethical challenges. From addressing biases in algorithms to safeguarding the data privacy, navigating this landscape requires uh, important and a commitment to ethical practices. Looking ahead, analytics will continue to shape industries, redefine business strategies, and improve lives. But as we harness its power, we must remain guided by ethical principles. By doing so, we not only maximize the value of analytics but also ensure it serves as a force for good. So, that is all for today's lecture. That's the end of our course. We have finals next week, so I will post a detailed explanation step by step of with for our final exam, and the process, how you can participate on the final exam and all these steps. So make sure you check it out, and also please make sure you submit the assignment. And if you have any question from any subject, any lecture, then let me know. Just to remind you, your finals will be on the topic. It will include all the topics that was after midterm. So until midterm, all those lectures that will not be included in the final exam. So after mid exam week, because we didn't have midterm exam, but after midterm exam week, when we started the final topics, you will count all those lectures for finals only, not from the beginning, not for the topics that we had before mid exam. So I will post a detailed announcement about final exam. So let me know if you have any question, and if you need any help, email me and we can have a Zoom appointment if you want. So that is all for today. Thank you.